Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Rajneeti. Today we have a beautiful, warm, and wonderful candidate for the Conservative Party, Kanwal Dur. She's standing for the constituency of Slough. I'd like to welcome Kanwal to our show. Welcome, Kanwal.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here and thanks for inviting me.
Talking about the Slough constituency, we're going to talk to Kanwal about her journey in the elections, upcoming elections. She's already been canvassing. So Kanwal, before we talk about the political side, tell us, Kanwal, where were you born and a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, I was born in India, born in New Delhi. Then I grew up, did my bachelor's, etc., college, etc., in psychology in Delhi again. Went on to sort of be a finalist in the Miss India pageant. I know it was an interesting trajectory from psychology to the whole Miss India bit. But I mean, this is what I keep telling people. Public life is just interesting for me. And psychology was also a form of public life because it's about human beings, interactions, etc., etc. So anyways, so that led to that. I then moved on to Mumbai, where I worked a bit more in media, in short stint in Bollywood as well. And one thing led to the other. And then I got married, had children, and then finished my MSc in psychology, and then went to banking, a bit of that. And then we moved to England, and then rest, as they say, is history. Politics happened, and I'm very happy to be here with the Conservative Party today.
Excellent. So as a fellow Mumbaikar, I would say that it is interesting to not just be a beauty for the sake of it, but to have beauty and a purpose. I think it's very admirable. So tell me, why Conservative Party?
Well, the answer is simple. This is the party for the hardworking people. Conservatives believe in social mobility. I and my family are an example of social mobility. My grandparents were refugees when the India-Pakistan partition happened, and from there to what they became, just through sheer hard work. And then obviously my parents and myself, we believe in hard work and low taxes. We are pro-business, pro a thriving economy. And that is exactly what the Conservatives believe in. We believe in family values. We believe in giving people independence so that they can work hard for themselves and for the community. We believe in, and I myself believe in, giving back to the society as much as you get, not actually locking people and handicapping them with free money or social welfare, etc., but actually encouraging them to work for themselves so they get the independence to be successful in life. And that absolutely echoes with me, and that is why the Conservative Party, there was no other party which actually was a complete reflection of my ideologies.
So the Conservative Party meets with your ideologies, and we also, in this election, the reason we are doing this is to basically understand the candidates who will be fighting on behalf of the people, for the people. So just to kind of talk a little bit more about the kind of priorities that you have in serving the constituents of Slough.
Yeah, Slough is a very interesting place. Unfortunately, although the constituency has just absolutely wonderful people, very hardworking people who believe in values and Slough in itself. Unfortunately, things like crime are a little out of control at this point in time. We've had various stabbings in the last few months, burglaries, etc. The education system needs a bit of help. Traffic and the road congestion is quite appalling. Air quality is quite sad, unfortunately. And also the high street. Every time I go to the high street in Slough, the Observatory Mall, etc., I feel really sad as to what's happening to the businesses. So my focus is going to be, number one, of course, controlling crime, which is going to happen because the fact that Boris Johnson, our Prime Minister, Mr. Boris Johnson, he's pledged 20,000 new police officers. A big chunk of that should be coming, and I would lobby the government that should be coming to a place like Slough because of the high crime rates. obviously investing more in Wrexham Hospital and the NHS. We are able to, it'd be wonderful that we have a plan so we can control traffic, etc. And obviously making Slough high streets thriving again is going to be my focal point, and I will do anything to do that.
That's true. I mean, there is a lot of growth happening in Slough.
Yes.
With the Crossrail building, I'm sure the community will thrive. As you've been canvassing, you have been recently for the last few weeks upcoming to the election. What do you find people are actually struggling with? And as people who are listening to you today, what do you think you can share with them that you've heard and you feel that, no, this is the area where I want to bring change?
Yeah, I mean, the first and foremost observation that I made was that although Slough is quite heavily Labour, but people were desperate for a change. When I went door knocking and met people on their doorsteps, people were listening. They were listening to us, the Conservatives. They said they really wanted to change. Obviously, they're absolutely devastated with the fact that the crime's been increasing. Council taxes being increasing, and obviously we've just spoken about the high streets as well. And so this is what, I was amazed to see that in the last 15, 20 years that Labour's been there. We've got the council, which is run by Labour. We've got a member of parliament who's from the Labour Party. They're happily married. I find that there is somewhat some lack of scrutiny happening as well. Because there is no strong opposition there. And I feel, unfortunately, at this moment in time, that the constituents are being taken for a ride. They're being let down. Enough is not being done. Promises that were made by the present incumbent in 2017 and the council have been broken. And people are quite disillusioned. And, they've given enough chances to Labour. 3, 4, 5 chances to Labour. I think they're looking for a change, and we are the party for the people, of the people. And I keep telling people positive change. And if we don't vote for a change, then we have no right to complain. And this is our opportunity to change the system that we've been complaining about for years and years. And if we can't do that, then we don't have the right to complain either.
Absolutely. And I think the fact that, because you said very rightly before, it's a multicultural, diverse community.
Yes.
I'm sure you get the opportunity to talk your language.
Yes.
And थोड़ी बहुत बातचीत हो जाती है, तो I'm sure you feel a bit more closer and in touch.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Look, 50% of the population is still the white population. I connect with them as much as I connect with the other constituents, and I will equally serve them as much as I will serve the Hindus, Punjabis, Muslims, and the white community. The Christian community is equally important, like I said. It is easier sometimes when you're door knocking or meeting people on the streets when you speak in Punjabi or Urdu or Hindi. But I think people are generally very, very kind in Slough, and I'm so glad that I was given this opportunity. And if I win this, I think we can really make a very positive change in Slough, and all the people living there in this beautiful town deserve it.
Yes, I spend a lot of time in Slough doing a lot of workshops. I interact with the community locally as well. And I feel that someone that is willing to bring change, to change the way people think. If there has been a sort of a status quo, that's what you're aiming to change a little bit. So now, as a woman, you often sort of face challenges within your work life and within politics and within meeting with people. Do you feel it's harder, or do you think things have changed for you?
Interesting question. Because for me, there has been a wonderful journey in the Conservative Party. So I don't see any difference. If you've got what it takes to be a politician or a public figure, then you will get the chances. And no matter what gender you come from, if you're good, you're good. If you're ready for public life, you're ready for public life. And that's exactly what's happened. Look, I came here only 8 years ago to the United Kingdom, to England. I know that lots, if for that matter, sometimes unfortunately India has taken so long to have somebody who's moved, as we know, I don't want to take names here, who's moved from another country to accept them as a member of parliament, whatever. But look at this country. I mean, England. What a wonderful country this is. This is a country for opportunities, equal opportunities to all, whether you're man, woman, previously from India, previously from anywhere else. If you have what it takes, you will get a chance. You better grab it and make the difference. I'm a classic example of when people say, you know what, the Tory party is a racist party for you. Are you kidding me? I mean, somebody who's come here in England 8 years ago gets this opportunity to stand from a constituency, become a member of parliament. They didn't ask me what I did in the past or where I came from. What they asked me is what I promised to change in the constituents. And when they thought that I could do that, they gave me a chance. So no, I mean, to answer your question, I've had absolutely no problems whatsoever. Our party is pro-women. Our party is pro-growth. Our party is giving opportunities to all, no matter which background you come from. And I'm proud to be here. And I've had absolutely a whale of a time, I beg your pardon. And I thank the Conservative Party for that.
See, isn't that amazing? 8 years, you said. I've been here for some time now, and I feel exactly the same. I feel at home, and I'm so glad that you are able to rise and grow and face new challenges. Do you tell us a bit about your family? I mean, it's interesting, because a lot of times when we bring people to our shows, we want actually people to understand who Kanwal is.
Yeah.
So tell us, who is Kanwal and what is her family like, and how do you juggle?
Oh, well, interesting. It's like a normal family, like yours and everybody else's family. I've got 2 young children. Kabir might be watching this.
Okay.
Sundri is away. The 2 of them, wonderful children. I've been happily married for about 12 years now. I'm the only child of my parents. We are regular folks who go for their normal jobs in the mornings, come back, look after their families. And that's it, just a normal person.
So do you live in Slough?
No, I just live outside Slough in a town called Beaconsfield. So I literally live on the edge of the town. It's not as far as Kent,
Okay.
which is where the present incumbent comes from,
Right.
which is 2 hours away from Slough. We know where Slough is and Kent
Yes.
is. So that's another problem of which a lot of the constituents have spoken about, and they have said that, we don't see the present incumbent very often. We're not very sure whether he's moved here because his house in the constituency is under construction at this point in time. So where does he live, etc., etc. And that's what it is. I'm normal folk, normal woman, just like everybody else, a mum who cooks in the evenings, does a day job. I'm an entrepreneur who runs a small jewelry business. Try and look after my kids on days like this. I'm not back home for late and they don't get dinner. Probably they do. The dad probably looks after them. And that's how life is. But what I keep telling my children is just work hard in life. Nothing is impossible. Follow your dreams. And if there is any opportunity, grab it, get it, and give it back as much as you can.
So if, for instance, someone said, oh, you know what, we want to get to know Kanwal and we want to sort of be helpful, volunteer to her campaign, how do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, sure. So they can contact me on my email address, which is kanwal4slough@gmail.com. That is the best way to contact me, or private message me on my Facebook page or Twitter account. We have teams who are always looking out for any help. We definitely need a lot of help in Slough. As I said, it is heavily labor, but constituents are willing and happy and desperate for change. But we need somebody to spread the message of conservatism and opportunities, etc. So yeah, we definitely need some help. And if you are available, please contact me. Join the Conservative team today, and let's spread the message of hope and change.
The most important thing for anyone watching this program and through Rajneeti, when we bring up political candidates, is for you to listen to them, understand where they're coming from, and when they're bringing a change, be a part of it. One of the main things that we want to achieve today and in the following months that come when we talk about the political inclination of the people of the country is the question of, the whole Brexit thing. So what are your views on that? And have you sort of managed to sort of listen to your constituents and see where they're coming from and their concerns?
Yeah. I mean, look, everybody's like you and me is just tired of this whole, the Brexit drama. Everyone wants to get on with it. And I believe a decision was made in 2016. It was a democratic decision. The nation was asked to vote for it. People decided that this was the time they wanted to leave the European Union. And that's exactly what should happen now. We promised to the people of this country that we will do it. There are no ifs and buts now. There should be a process how we do it. We should make sure that we mitigate any damage to our country. And I'm very hopeful that, we are a self-reliant economy to an extent. The world is our oyster. India is very happy to do have business relationships with us. So is the United States. So is the entire world. We should grab this opportunity, as I just said, and not be pessimistic and just deliver on what was promised and get on with it. Just get on with it. It's not going to be an easy process. It hasn't been in the last 2-3 years. It won't be in the next 2-3-4 years as well. We all know that. We should be happy that, Mr. Boris Johnson is promising that he will deliver this, and we do that and just get on with it.
Right. Taking this wonderful sentiment, because I think it's wonderful, because yes, I'm sure people believe that there has been a decision and one needs to sort of adhere to it. I'm going to mention something here where I was doing some research and I came across some wonderful sentiments of the Secretary of State for International Trade, who says that Slough is one of the top 10 new free ports that the government are looking to establish post-Brexit.
Yes.
You are taking a huge role in this initiative.
Yes.
Share with the audiences what the initiative is and what the government is proposing.
Yeah, so look, it's a wonderful proposal because there's a great opportunity that we could convert Slough into free port. That means, we could work in inward investments towards Slough. I was already talking about how we would like, Slough becomes more pro-business. It becomes there's an economic surge in Slough, which is what we want. This would be a great opportunity where, perhaps investments from all around the world, because of the proximity to Heathrow, etc., come into Slough. And I would be speaking to, various member of parliaments who could perhaps help us in that. The idea is that Slough, unfortunately, is in this influx right now where a lot of people earn money here. They have jobs here, but they don't have houses in Slough. So it's almost like a commuter town where people will earn the money or have jobs and then, sort of either spend the money somewhere or live somewhere else. But what we want is that, in inward investments, then sort of make Slough a better town in terms of, people can buy bigger, better houses here or, and have a better infrastructure and becomes pro-business and they spend money here as well, live here, and it just becomes a thriving community.
So that's exactly what the Conservative Party is trying to establish here in Slough. And I appreciate on behalf of the people that are watching that this initiative of Freeport, and I read as well here that Slough is the new center for global Britain.
Yes.
So again, these kind of phrases, does uplift your constituency.
Exactly.
And in terms of winning and in terms of changing the face of Slough, I'm sure you're going to face a lot of opposition.
Oh, yes.
Has there been any difficult moments for you which you've sort of felt, why me or why this?
Yeah, it is. It is quite hostile, sometimes, and this is what makes me slightly sad. That I'm often heavily trolled on social media, and it's more than what's acceptable by any standards, by legal standards as well. Recently, something on the lines of that, my campaign was being funded by the BJP, which is, you can't even this is actually illegal stuff. You can't do that. And just making up stories and lies like this and putting up on social media, and then unfortunately, again, the constituents, they believe that, because then if you put lies a number of times in front of people, at some point of time, some of them might start believing that as factual stuff. So I think that that's absolutely unacceptable. And then, the kind of abuse that you get, the profanities that you get. I think, I just feel these are labor trolls, and I'm going to be very honest. These are labor paid trolls, and I wish I'm wrong, but that's what it looks like, because I can't believe that humanity can be stooped down so low that you would use the profanities that they do, make accusations which could actually put them behind bars or put them in sort of legal trouble. And then just spread rumors. There's just I've had a lot of issues. I've reported some to the police. I've reported some to the EC. We and the headquarters constantly work on these, and hopefully the people of Slough will see through this rumors versus factual stuff and make the decision.
So once again, this is admirable, that even though we have adverse circumstances, Kanwal here is trying hard to work for the people of Slough. So it's great, and I'm sure the viewers listening to you today and watching you today will see your passion, your enthusiasm, and the need for you to do what you're doing. Coming back to art and culture, Slough is also a hub for those kind of activities. Lately, I used to go there to do workshops, and I noticed that a few of the arts buildings have been closed down. Have you heard complaints about that? And do you actually want to do something different to bring arts and culture back into Slough?
Again, what we spoke about, yes, there has to be some life back into Slough. It can't just be a commuter town. It can't just be a people sort of going via the town and then doing their business and just sort of, the sense of culture that you're talking about, that beauty that Slough had 20-25 years ago has gone. And I think a lot, Labour has to take the responsibility of that. That, a lot of the real Slough culture and the depth of Slough has just gone away. Again, yes, I will work very hard. I come from a media background. I come from that art and culture background, and I appreciate that. And also, it's very important to bring the communities together in a positive way. And I think art and culture play a very positive role in that. And especially also with the youngsters. We know the youth are getting groomed by these gangs right now. And to be able to involve them in productive, either art related, culture related, or sport related. I'm a big fan of sort of, giving, children or youth opportunities so they can get involved in that. I've been speaking to some people as well, and hopefully we will be able to invest time, money, which is very important, and bring back a form of a community spirit, and also be able to control crime through this.
We're going to take that very important point that you mentioned. The youth of today, especially in areas like Slough, are very important in bringing that change. And very rightly mentioned by Kanwal. How diverse do you find the youth, and do you feel that if they are listening to you, that they can contact you, and there are initiatives that you're planning to start that you want to talk about, that you think will make a change?
Yeah, first of all, I tell to all the youth, listen, go out and vote, because your vote counts, and this is your future which is on stake. And if you think there is something wrong happening in the society today, the only person who can change that is you. So don't waste that opportunity. Go out and vote. Secondly, if there is any issue, either you're worried about things, you must get help. There is no shame in getting help. There are the council runs certain things as well. I'm free, available as well. I've just said my email address is canwal4slough@gmail.com. If there is anything that troubles you, please contact me. I will see what I can do for you as well. But listen, believe in yourself, believe in the fact that your vote will count, and that just be positive in life. Engage yourself in what we just spoke about. Engage yourself in sport. Engage yourself in a positive job or making yourself independent, and be careful. I mean, don't become a victim to what others might benefit out of you. Just be sure of what you're doing and have confidence in yourself.
These are some amazing thoughts from someone who has worked very hard. We're all immigrants who have, I mean, I talk for myself, I talk on behalf of Kanwal and a few other people who have changed their life, who wanted to make a difference. Obviously, with politics in Rajneeti, थोड़ा बहुत अपने आप को आगे बढ़ने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए. तो Kanwal, as we kind of come to the final segment of this wonderful interview that we've been doing, what personal qualities do you think, as Kanwal, you have felt that I've brought to the fore, and I think that people watching us today will take from you and be inspired by you?
I mean, for something like, being in politics, the first and foremost important thing, or being a public figure for that matter, is perseverance. I'm never bothered about the fact that, there's nothing coming out of this, or, or this takes long, or, you've got to persevere. So if you've got a mission in life, for example, to become a member of parliament, if there are youngsters watching this, or if you've got a mission in life to do something back to the society, it can take very, very long. So, you've got to continue to do that thing again and again and again. And at some point of time, you will feel that you've achieved what you set out to do. So that's one quality that I have. I don't give up, hence if the trolls think I will give up and say, this is not for me, that's not going to happen, because I will fight back, and I will fight back hard. And in fact, one of the other things is, if somebody tells me that you can't do something, I make sure I do that. So that's one important thing in a seat like Slough that works very well. I don't get worried about being told, or it just makes me more resilient and sort of more focused. And the second thing is, I am doing this. This is just an extension of what I have done in the past as well. I'm talking about politics. It's just a form of charity work for me. I take away time from my family, take away time from my business, which actually has some monetary benefits, I beg your pardon. Well, sometimes public life doesn't, and that doesn't bother me. I have taken up this role so I can again give happiness or opportunities to other people. Through my charity work, I've done that, and this is just an extension of that. Like I said, now you can influence policy as well. You can bring about bigger changes on national level. And what better than that? So again, you have to be selfless. You've got to think about others.
Yes.
And that is why I'm here. So being selfless, thinking about others more than you think about yourself, and being being able to persevere.
So when we did an interview recently with a charity, and we talked about service to others. Somewhere in history, Gandhiji has said that service to others gives you more joy than anything else in the world. So being a politician, obviously, your service to your community is prime. And if people are watching you, for instance, they might ask you a question, which I will on their behalf. Have you stood for elections before? Have you contested before? Is it something you've done before? Or is this a completely new challenge?
No, I haven't. No, this is my first opportunity to stand in the general elections. I was a finalist in the London Assembly race, but I never made it right to the end. But that happened some time ago. I've been an activist for the last 4 or 5 years with the Conservative Party. I was a campaign manager in the Zach Goldsmith's. He stood for being the London mayor. His campaign, the team member and campaign manager for one of the London Assembly members then. But I've never personally stood for elections before. But like I said, I've enjoyed public life. Media was a form of public life. Charity was a form of public life. This is a form of public life. I love engaging with people. Smiles on people's faces is what makes me very happy. There's nothing else. That is rewarding for me. Every day, if I go out and I meet 50 people and I make them smile and I bring some hope for the future for them, my day is done. And I get up next day and think, I'll do that again, I'll do that again. And that's my drive. And I'm very happy to do this. And no, to answer that question, I haven't stood before, but I'm happy to do it now.
This is the important bit. One can be complacent or one can make a difference. We've had the opportunity to meet with Kanwal, share her views, share her ambition to make a difference in Slough. We obviously want to get a few more bites before we wrap up the show. So I would like to just get her thoughts on her final sort of mission to make a success and winning the Slough constituency.
Yeah, work hard. I mean, there is no other way to win this campaign, this election, this seat. We will work very hard. We will be sincere. We will be honest. And we will not let the trolls let us get down. We will continue to do what we focus to do, which is serve the constituents, make the promises, deliver on them.
And that's what we expect from our politicians. The promise to serve and to be there for you when you need them. I would like to, on behalf of MATV, thank Kanwal Thor for coming to our studios today. We would also appreciate all your thoughts and messages that you send through Facebook to us. Also, please share them with Kanwal, and any feedback you give to us regarding Rajneeti is absolutely welcome. In the next coming weeks, we'll be meeting lots of people from this political party, from Labour, from Liberal Democrats, and we will share their views. And we are very delighted to be here today with you, Kanwal. A heartfelt thank you on behalf of MATV. Thank you for watching Rajneeti, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you.